It is too much. Okay. Hi.
Is it too much work though, or is it just too much work for you?
Those words mean the same thing to me. Too much work for me and too much work overall. I love getting an email from my own channel going, "You're live," and I'm like, "Trust me, I'm aware."
It's like the best. Did you know?
I'm there. I'm experiencing it in real time.
I wait for the day when I forget, and I'm like, "What do you mean I'm live?" As I'm sitting here waiting for the countdown.
Or just waiting.
People. Did you share it all the places?
I didn't share any of the places.
Share all the places. Let the peoples know, CV.
I'm sorry, I'm really tired. Hello, people.
You're tired. I'm dying. We're a great pair right now.
Yeah. I mean...
Yes, I'm in live, child. I've told you 3 times. Don't shrug at me. He's like, I don't recall this. This is slander.
No, I did not know it. I didn't hear you call. I didn't hear you tell me that you said
I'm just listening to my child.
I posted it one place.
Now you have 38 other places.
I don't have that many places. Oh, okay. You did Discord. That's why I went to next.
It's not a sleepy stream. It's a we're dying stream. It just told me you're alive, so maybe the people just don't know yet. I just put my legs up on the chair that my child was sitting in, so I'm waiting for him to come back now and just be like, "Ma,
Mom, I was sitting there."
You move your feet, you lose your seat. Oh no, he's just going upstairs now. He don't care.
Oh, rejected. My desk is sticky, and I'm slightly concerned about it.
Are we doing write-ins today? Yeah, we are.
Yes.
Because I was really about to just write, I have no idea what we're doing today, but come on down anyway.
I mean, that would be within like the theme of the channel. I have no idea what we're doing, but it'll be interesting probably. There. I posted it 2 places.
I posted it 4.
I don't have more places. What other places would I have? I
have Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr, and Facebook. Which is where you can find me.
Yeah. I noticed earlier that my little brother had posted, this is my little brother, he posted hi a few hours ago, and I'm like, Benjamin, no, not, what are you doing? But he's not watching.
Facts, I don't have a quota for dying. I'm an ancient immortal goddess of chaos and order.
Hi, Devin.
I can die as much as I need.
That's the wrong button. That's the right button. So, we have a few more. I have done almost nothing today because I meant to wake up like at 10 and like get an early start on my day, but then I woke up at 2:30 and I was like, shit, I slept through singing lessons 2nd week in a row.
I've been going in and out of flare-ups, and like I thought I had a doctor's appointment for March, but no, it's April 19th or some shit like that. So I'm like, man. So I'm gonna call and harass my doctor's office. She's like, hey, look, I can't wait another month. Talk to my insurance, motherfuckers. I'm dying.
Please.
Because I have just been miserable this week. Although I have been reading lots of comics on Manta. Because they have a thing where they're like, pay $4 and you get unlimited access to all the chapters. And I was like, I can make it worth it. I'm pretty sure I spent more than like the equivalent of that $4 in the first week.
I've been reading comics on Webtoon. And like last night I mentioned it to Madeline, as my roommate, for anyone that doesn't know, and like I just offhandedly mentioned how they played into a trope I liked. And like 10 minutes later, I like go up to get to the bathroom. She's like, you mentioned it, so I downloaded the app and I found a gay one. And apparently the gay one reminds her of TSC.
Let me tell you though, here's the thing. Wait, is it the Crow one?
No.
Not the Crow King? Okay, then I don't know what it is. That's the only gay one I could think of that
there was one where it's like a
resemble.
tournament to be someone's bodyguard, to be like some nobleman's bodyguard. Apparently it was like
tell her to send me the title, because that's my jam. Anything that's like bodyguard and like nobility, I'm like, yes, give me more. They don't even have to be the couple. I don't care, because like you get some pretty good bromances, some pretty good
like
frenemies.
Answer. Yep.
Yes, just anything where it's a knight and the royal that they guard. It's just like amazing. But yeah, I read lots of the webtoons as well. She actually found one that I haven't read yet, which is like a feat.
I found one that I really liked, but it only like it had really long chapters, but there's only 36 of them so far. Omniscient Reader.
I have not read that one either.
It's based off of a book that's on like apparently Webtoon has like a book version. Or like
yeah, that's like there's what's it called? There Shazad's her name. I don't know. It's like an Arabian Night thingy, and it was also based on a novel.
Yeah, I started that one. I don't remember what it's called.
I love that one, but this just means I need to catch up on the webtoons, because apparently there's ones I haven't read yet.
Yeah.
Although to be fair, they did like significantly increase the amount of webtoons they had over the last year and a half. Like, oh my god, it got so much bigger, so much more shiz.
One of the ones I was really enjoying was Unordinary, and I got like 140 chapters in, and then I like caught up where it was, and there was like a month where I was like reading it as it came out, but then I like stopped for like 6 months.
I did the same
now I'm
thing.
so far behind and I don't remember the story enough, so I like went to start it over again, but all I remember is the like main character's character development, and I didn't like how it went, and I didn't get to the point where it got where I liked it again. So I'm sitting there going, I know you're gonna go to a place I don't want you to go to, and it sucks to see you go to that place over again, because I don't know.
Skip 5 chapters. You just skip every 5 chapters till you're back to where you want.
It's a good plan. All right, we're 8 minutes in. We can do introductions. Who are you, ancient immortal deity of chaos and order?
I'm pretty sure that says it all, though. Okay, let me sit up a bit. All right. Hey, yo, and welcome to CB's channel. Haha. I am Writing Mom Samantha L. NASSET. That is the name of my channel. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr, Facebook. I have a newsletter you can sign up to keep up to date with all things Sam, which is at SamanthaLNasset.com. I am, in fact, an ancient immortal deity of chaos and order of unknown and vague origins. I've been accused of being a fae, a werewolf, vampire. Who knows? I might change my thing back to my name at some point, but not this day. And I'm here to hang out and not die.
I mean, generally, those two things are approved of.
Now I'm shrinking back down.
Okay. And all of Sam's stuff is below, because I had it left over from another stream. I just copy and paste it. Go me.
That's all I ever do for my.
I did have a moment of going, did I make a description? I did, in fact, because I set up the stream like a week ago, which is really in advance for me. So, hello, everybody. I am CB Ferrenz. This is my channel where I talk about, sorry. I literally cannot introduce myself without having yours play in my head.
Do it. I don't care.
If you are new here, welcome. If you are not new here, welcome back. On my channel, I talk about writing in college and being a teenager, and I do little skits, and I will start to do more live streams like this one where we do writing sprints and try and be productive, or just watch timers go by and be sad that we're not being productive. So, hope you enjoy. Yeah, cool.
Fox, I need you to elaborate when you're like, I checked her description to see if she pulled a Sam or not. The fuck's a Sam, Fox?
I think this is Sam's forgetting to put the guest's info in or putting the wrong guest
No,
info
okay,
in.
so what happens is I copy paste info from my guest, and so sometimes I will miss a spot or it'll fuck up saving where I've changed it. So it'll be like my guest, CB and Cody, and then like in the thing it says this week joining me is Stig and Matt. But then it'll have like links to you and Cody. So I think that's what he's referring to, but I don't appreciate it.
I have a DM from Fox as well, hopefully not harassing me.
CV gets it.
No, I'm being harassed because I didn't share it places. Hopefully the stream started. I'm sorry.
Excuse me. I shared it in the Worldwide Write-a-thon. That was another place you could have shared it.
It is. I even have a Discord server.
There's a self-promo there.
I was going to, but then I forgot. So I didn't take my ADHD meds this morning. Or this afternoon when I woke up. So, does anyone, or what are you going to work on today, this evening? And what is chat working on?
I just told you, not dying. I might attempt to work on a script. Right now, I'm assisting in because there's in the world building and somebody's talking about Christianity and all right, the original person was not talking about Christianity. They were talking about Loki creating Helheim, like Odin and stuff, and someone else was like brought up Christianity for some reason. I don't know. I didn't read all of that. So all I saw was somebody's like, I don't know how we got Christianity out of one sentence about Loki and Odin, and someone was like, specifically the idea of Loki creating hell, and I was just like, Loki is Hell's father. Like literally, that's her name. It's Hel, and she is Loki's her dad. So it's like that has nothing to do. That's just Norse mythology.
That is. I'm going to be alternating between reading this comic and maybe
oh yeah, I might. There's a thing called Lady and Her Butler that I might read on and off because
lots of work being done today.
So what happened is this like lady moves into a place, and less than a week later this guy like walks in, and she's all like, the fuck you doing? Like, as she's looking around her messy ass apartment and everything, and like she just turned down this guy at work because she's like, I don't date, I don't do romance or anything like that. Well, dude's all like, this is my apartment, I just rented it. She's like, bitch, I moved in a week ago. And he's like, hold on. Tries to call the landlord people, realizes his ass been scammed. So he's like, I mean, I don't have anywhere else to go, so maybe you can. She's like, nah, bro. He's like, I'm gay. She's like, not still. She's like, get the fuck out, bitch. And so he leaves. But like, he had all of his moving boxes and everything, and it's the middle of the night, so he just sleeps in the hallway by his boxes. Now, the next morning, he wakes up in her bed, like, as she's at work, because she like walked out, she saw him passed out on the hallway. She's not the most heartless creature in existence. So here's the thing, I don't know how she moved him, because she's like maybe 5'6", and he's like 6'3" or some shit like that. And in a later chapter, she makes a point of saying, I can't move him by myself. So I'm like, how the fuck did she? But anyway, it doesn't matter. Cartoon logic. We're good.
Gloss over that.
So then, like, she comes home and he's made dinner because he's like, oh, I just wanted to thank you and everything, and I'll find somewhere to stay. But like, her whole house is clean, it's like spotless, and she's all like on her way home, she'd been thinking about how nice it would be to have a wife who like stays at home and cooks for her and shit. So she's just like, why don't you be my butler? Like, I'll cover your room and board, you cook and clean. I mean, you're gay, so it's fine. And he's just like, she bought that? Yes, totally.
Wait, he's not gay?
Oh no, he's very straight.
Is she gay?
But no, she just has like her mom. So her mom got married at 20, and then her dad died before she was 10. But because her mom got married so young, she like was pretty much just fucked, right? Because like she doesn't have any job experience, doesn't know what to do, and like her dad was a CEO. And so like they went from this really lavish lifestyle to like nothing. And then her mom kind of at some point got tired of it and was like, you know what? I'll do what I'm good in life. I'll get me a rich man.
Iconic.
And she's all like, so her mom like dated around a lot, and then like her friend groups, she'd always get in a small friend group of like 3. And then, you know, they'd start dating and they'd stop being friends. And so she's just like, I'm not dating. Fuck dating. Dating shit. I don't give 2 things. And so, yeah, but they're like super cute and they act like not exactly like they're dating, but pretty close. Like she accidentally spilt coffee on his chest and he just takes the shirt off and they're like, you know, treating the burn wound. And she's like, I'll put antiseptic on it. He's like, no. I got it. I'll put the burn oil on. I'll do it. She's like, oh, right. So every now and then she'll be like, why am I thinking about him like this? He's off limits. And I'm like, madam? And when he told her his backstory, he said, and he's like, wait, my ex-boyfriend. And she's like, yeah. But then they're watching the show together and she's like, so what's your type? And he's like, you know, cute, petite, something. And then he's like, oh shit, women are good at reading between the lines. And she's like, wow. Oh, so like our guy friend we've been hanging out with. And he's like, yes, like him.
Yes, I'm into men, yes.
And I'm like, sir, you're bad at this. You're so bad at this. What's kind of helped his charade, though, is that there's a convenience store clerk who idolizes him. He saw him, and he's like, that is a man's man. His shoulders are so broad. Is this? And he kept, like, bugging her. He's like, Nuna, because that's what they call older female friends. He's like, Nuna, introduce me to your friend. And she's like, is he also... I have heard of something called gaydar. Is that a thing? Is that actually? And I'm like, madam, no. Madam, that's not. But okay. So then the kid gets the guy's phone number and they're like, the guy's a graphic designer and the kid's going to school for graphic designing. So they bond over that. And then they go out for coffee and stuff. And this whole time she's all like, they're going to start dating and then they're not going to be my friend anymore. And I'm going to be the third wheel. And I just hate this, but I shouldn't. I'm just being a selfish bitch. And meanwhile, it shows you at the coffee shop, the dudes are all like, I want to be like you. You're like my ideal body. I need to work up. There's this girl that I like and I got a crush on and like, but I'm scrawny and shit. So can you help me bulk up? And dude's like, I mean, I'll help you get fit and healthy, but I cannot guarantee you're going to bulk up. You're like 5'3" and I'm like 6'3". And it's so cute. And I'm like, I need her to find out that he into the titty. I need them to be a couple. And he's just like, he's terrified because he's like, the moment she finds out I lied, she will justifiably kick me out of the house.
Yes.
And she's just like, I just don't want to be the third wheel in the friendship.
I mean, being a third wheel is not
right? It's like, and I
or
feel
it's a
her.
lot of fun.
I've been that third wheel in friendships where there's like, you know, there's 3 friends or there's 4 friends and everybody else pairs off as friends and you're just like, I'm here too.
Yeah.
I love you too.
Where's my turn? What about me?
When's my turn?
All right. I'm gonna pull up. Do you have any timer requests?
My face.
Okay. I just typed Sam timer into YouTube. I don't think that's gonna work.
I'm sorry, I just checked my DMs and Fox is like, I don't fully blame you. It's just the thing that is usual. And he shows me a screenshot, and it says Webtoons chat live stream with ancient immortal deity of chaos and order. And I don't know if that's what you actually titled the stream or
No, I think it's right in.
Okay.
It's been a long
So
day.
he photoshopped it.
Yes. All right. Boom. A Sam
Look.
timer.
His editing skills are so good. I can't tell sometimes. I'm like, did you actually edit my site, sir? Don't do these things. Oh, that's not who I meant to send that to.
Am I being sent something?
Yes.
Okay. Oh wow, that's really convincing.
See? I was like, I was so confused.
Let's see.
I haven't like DM'd with Jenna in 2 days, but that was the name I clicked on. And it's like, I love her so much. I just gravitate to her.
That's not what I meant to do.
I did that.
You did the same thing.
I did that Monday.
I'm trying so hard.
That's not what I wanted.
Let's try this again.
Why? Hard. Why?
It's really hard. Okay. Did that work?
Yes, yes.
All right. It started already. Let's try it again. Won't let me. All right, we're starting from here. All right, 3, 2, 1, go. And we are done. The writing sprint. How do I make it go away? That's how I make it go away. Hi, Sam.
Yo.
What'd you do during the sprint?
Oh, I talked more Norse religion.
I read the thing, the comic, and they're doing this one thing that I don't really like. It's like on they finished season 1 with like something bad happened to the protagonist, right? And the protagonist is like this innocent, naive, basically child. I don't know how old he is. Like, cannot be older than 14. And it starts season 2 like 5 years later. And there's a character that is most definitely the protagonist. It's like 100% the protagonist, but his hair is a lot longer, and obviously he's older. And he has bangs that come down to here, so you can't see his eyes, which really is his only distinguishing feature.
Wait, are you reading Tower of God?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And he's like angsty, and I'm pretty. It's just like these, like, I don't know.
Don't
really
worry.
Everyone's angsty.
Bang will be fine. He'll be fine.
Okay. I'm like, you're a different character. Also, I don't know who you are now. What's going on?
He's the same motherfucker, just like OP now.
Okay. That's good.
Which is fine. You should read about Vampire Jesus.
I should read about what?
Vampire Jesus. You heard me. Sorry, I was checking where I am in Tower of God because it's been a while. I was season 2, episode 209.
I'm
That's
season 2, episode 14. You're a little bit farther than me.
they're fucking long chapters. I need to catch up on it, obviously.
I started it today or last night.
Yeah,
I think it was last night.
Madam, I'm a slow reader. I'm just a marathon reader.
I'm a speed reader.
I just read for eternity.
I had to switch hands because I was using this hand. I'm like, this hurts, so I had to switch this.
So it's called Unholy Blood. And basically, it's all like 3 or 5 years ago, one of the two, vampires started showing up, and now everybody's all like, ah, fuck, this sucks. No pun intended. Vampires and all that. Well, our main character. So our main character, she's like, let me double check the prologue real quick because I want to make sure this is how it starts out. That's okay. If it makes you feel better, I told someone my head feels like it's in a vice grip, and they're like, I'm sorry about your head. This sounds like I'm pitying your ability to suck dick. That's not what I meant. And I was like, no, I'm very good at dick sucking. Don't worry. So
I'm gonna ask how chat did while Sam is looking at stuff.
Okay. So, all right, this is how. So it starts out with showing the main character, right? She's got long white hair, these vibrant blue eyes, and she's wearing a crown of thorns on her head. So I'm like, Vampire Jesus? What the fuck's going on? And then the chapter 1 takes you back because, fucking all the webtoons, webcomics, things in the world now got to show me this is what happens. And 3 years before this, and I'm like,
just be chronological. What are you doing?
I understand the marketing bait here, but
still,
for me, it depends on where it starts as to how understanding I am. But so it shows that. And then it goes and it shows her, and I'm like, this is the same main character, and it's like brown hair, brown eyes, and I'm like, okay, so just turning into a vampire, change your genetics, what's going on? And your aesthetic genetics. And then as I keep this is going to be spoilers, so anybody who wants to read Unholy Blood, know that this is spoiler, but it's like chapter 1, chapter 2 spoilers. So it's very early on. So everybody's talking about vampires and everyone's worried about the vampires and blah, blah, blah. And then she goes home and she's walking with this creepy ass dude. And I'm like, either this motherfucker's a vampire or he a creep or something. And then she's
a vampire about to eat him for being creepy.
The comic like fucking flips it because they run into a vampire on the street, and he just runs away because he's a fucking coward, probably pissed himself, leaving, you know, the girl he was supposed to be escorting to protect her.
Oh,
Whatever.
So
There's been some mild foreshadowing here because, like, she can't get drunk. She just keeps drinking alcohol and she never gets drunk. And that is most definitely a vampire and werewolf thing. Well,
that
then,
means you
like,
have special powers.
yeah. So, or you're an ancient world deity, one of the two. But, so this vampire like pops up and he's gonna attack her, and she's like, no, don't. And then she's like looking in her backpack for something and she can't find it. So I'm like, well, she got a taser, a silver bullet. This is where we learn she's a vampire hunter. Like, what's going on here? And apparently when humans are turned into vampires, they have red eyes. And I'm like, this does not match my prologue.
This is confusing.
And then he goes to attack her, and she's like, well, fuck, or something. And then, like, her hair turns white and her eyes turn blue. And she's like, I'm a full-blood motherfucker. And I'm like, it is vampire Jesus.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know why. For some reason, so when you're a vampire, you only have 5 years to live. After that, you just turn to dust. Unless you're, like, unless you're vampire god or one of God's, like, angels.
Isn't that
literally
the opposite of what usually when you're a vampire you get to be immortal?
Not anymore.
Okay.
But
the one perk of being a vampire.
But I think God is a full blood, because like if you drink God's blood, then you live longer. So like just drinking humans ain't gonna do it for you. You have to drink pure blood.
Huh.
Well, as she is a pure blood, she's fucking OP. She's like bang level OP, and like oh fuck, what is it?
He's only
what
done like
was
2
his
things
name?
so far.
Rye from there's this one webtoon that it's the only webtoon that has made me cry.
No, I cry at everything, so I can't say that.
I'm gonna have to find the name of the webtoon. But yeah, so I like to read the webtoons when they got that one character who's just like over fucking power, period. Like they were just born to be god tier, and I'm okay with that. But like she'll get her butt handed to her for a bit and then, you know, figure out how to do a new thing, and I'm like, I'm okay with this. This satisfies me. Well, yeah, so basically the crown of thorns, that she puts it on and it turns her back into her human form. So it's like, so vampire Jesus I'm like, but hold on. In the prologue, she was vampired and wearing the crown of thorns. So at what point does she become so vampire Jesus that the crown of thorns doesn't work anymore? So,
or it's another crown of thorns just for the aesthetic.
I'm enjoying that one. Well, no, it was given to her by a Catholic priest. Damn it!
It was like a fake one that she was wearing.
Who raised her?
She like freak people out.
She was
She's raised by
a
pure blood vampire. Was raised by a Catholic priest.
Yes, and let me tell you, when you first see him, I'm like, this shady ass motherfucker was like, he's a Von Helsing or some shit like that. No, it turns out he was just a special forces soldier who retired to become a Catholic priest to raise a pureblood vampire. As one does.
That's a classic career path, you know.
Yep. So his name's Father Michael too. So it's like that's my favorite archangel name. So I'm like, yes.
Really? It's your favorite archangel name? I wouldn't have guessed that.
Technically, Raphael's my other favorite archangel name, but Chris liked Gabriel. So, look, if we were going to have the turtles, one of them would have been Leonardo. But I would never name my child Donatello.
No.
Yes, terrible. Vampire Jesus is amazing. Also, her boyfriend, okay, he's not her boyfriend, but I ship them. He's a cop with red hair and red eyes, and I'm like, he fucking clocked her as being Vampire Jesus from the moment he saw her. And I'm like, he's on a special unit to hunt and kill vampires too. So I'm just like, this is gonna be fun. But
wow, you're actually productive. I mean, that wasn't being mean to you. That was being mean to Sam and I.
She's shading us, not you.
Yeah, no, good for you. This happens very often.
Look,
it's almost a daily occurrence.
I break many friends. Friend cannot handle me.
Russian now? Fairy Fire Ivy likes Unholy Blood.
It's
you for not
so
spoiling.
good. It's so good. It's one
I did a
of
break
the
timer. I felt so professional when I remembered it and like turned it out. I was like, look at me.
I know you like up your game and you're like, oh, I feel fancy, and then you forget your tool and you're like, motherfucker. It's somehow worse than not having it. Also, when I see people using my fuck yeah emoji, I'm like, bitches, I put 5 different variants of fuck yeah in a server. Leave the blue silver one alone.
When people use the like heart, that's yours. It's
That
called the Sam heart. I get like actively annoyed.
Let me
I
tell
don't
you
know
what's
what.
funny. There was one day I was asleep and I wake up to a message from Stig asking if me or somebody else had deleted his post. And I was like, Stig, what are you talking about? I just woke up. He's like, well, I wrote this post and then like your heart emoji was there. He's like, so I assumed you saw it. And I was like, no, Stig, other people like to appropriate my emoji. Dude, that's fine. I stole it from Zelda, so I can't legitimately be upset. It's
Yeah,
just
but like
funny to me how upset other people get.
I'm like, so I'll like see something and I like get it when it has like 12 heart emojis because like you'll put the original and then people like pile on. But when I'm like, I see there's multiple and I like go like hover over it and it doesn't say your name, I'm like, how dare! Imposter!
How dare you? It's literally titled Sam _heart.
Yeah, I'm like, that's Sam. Only Sam can use it. Like if someone has it on something, I'll specifically put another heart in. Like even if I don't want to heart the thing, I'll put another heart in. Like, see, this is for other people to use, not Sam. You're not Sam. You can't use her heart.
I love you too. It's great. And also, yes, you can never say that you break someone without saying it in a slightly Russian accent. I'm incapable.
Why?
It's because of Rocky. It's an old movie.
I've seen Rocky.
Yeah. The fourth one, I think, is the one with
the
Ivan.
I've seen the first one.
So in Rocky 4, he goes
Yeah.
against Ivan Drago, whom is from Russia, and his like some of his lines are just like, if he dies, he dies. He is not man, he is machine. And I don't even remember if he actually says something about breaking someone, but like that's just it's his
The
voice
vibe.
now. So oh yeah, because like when he says if he dies, he dies, he means like if Rocky dies in the ring, then he dies. But then like when he's fighting Rocky, the news reporters are like, you know, how's it going? And he's like, he is not man, he is machine.
Yeah, I think I saw Rocky
when
we moved to Pennsylvania because we live relatively near Philly. So.
I like all of the Rockies. I also like Creed, which is it's it is and it isn't a Rocky film.
Not Michael B. Jordan.
Yes.
One that came out like a year ago, 2 years ago.
No, it came out a while ago.
Okay, there's another one. There's a Creed film that came out relatively recently.
He said that to Apollo Creed, according to Chris, when he was dying in the ring. But yeah, Creed is about or it's with Michael B. Jordan, and it's about Apollo Creed, who Apollo Creed had been like Rocky's rival and then his friend, and he died boxing Ivan Drago, and then he had a son, and his son grew up to be a boxer, and then Rocky trains
from
him.
The movie?
Machine breaks and so will you. I don't know, but it is now.
I don't know, but it's badass.
That's also why Katrina is my favorite, like, little person that blonde lady we were talking about does. The lady who does all the characters on TikTok, Katrina, and her children are Sergey and Mika.
Yep. Followed along. Took me a second.
She's my favorite character. Did you see the one where like Chad asked if Katrina and Janet were in love, and Katrina just looks at Janet in like lesbian panic, and she's like, "Are we?" Or she's like, Janet, and Janet goes, well, yeah, of course, we're best friends. And Katrina's like, right, best friends. And I'm like, girl, I know that face. I've seen that face in enough things. I've seen that face on enough people. It's like, are we in love? No, we're not in love. Why would you think that?
I think Chris is very passionate about Rocky.
Oh yeah, he loves Rocky. We have the special Rocky collection. I'm a casual Rocky fan. He's a hardcore Rocky fan. You see, he's not a machine. He's a man. Oh right, that's the old dude.
Yeah, I don't really remember the plot or anything about it.
Oh, of the first one?
I remember there's a like corner store in it.
It's a pretty like simple plot. Rocky wants to be the best, and so he like trains to be the best. And there's a love interest that he likes.
Oh, I'm like getting flashbacks to the movie, I think.
Well,
now.
you know, sir, I realize it's not a Russian now, but my head is in a vice grip. So the Russian says everything. Ivan Drago said the whole movie and nobody else spoke.
One-man show.
It was just Ivan. That is it.
I would watch a Russian boxer do a one-man show.
Yes.
I think it would be a experience.
But
who played Rocky? Didn't he like direct and write it too? And his name
Sylvester
has an S in
Stallone.
it? Yes, he had the double S name. I'm like, it's not Shel Silverstein.
No, it's Sylvester Stallone.
That's the poet guy.
Yes.
Didn't like I have this like vague memory that he like wanted to make everyone was like, no, we're not gonna do that. And so he's like, fine, I'll do it myself. Like a
Babe,
Thanos moment.
fact check, is that a thing? I mean, that sounds like Sylvester Stallone. Excuse me. That's like it's like the Spy Kids movie was made by this guy who basically figured out how to make movies for cheap with green screen and CGI, and so he got a bunch of big name actors to do Spy Kids just because like they were all friends.
Spy Kids is iconic.
So Apollo, right, Rocky's down on his like boxer who also is the muscle for the mob, and Apollo's like, I'm gonna challenge some random dude for my belt. Ends up being Rocky. Rocky gets a chance of a lifetime and doesn't win at the end.
Is that the plot of the movie?
Yes.
Thank you, Chris.
My favorite thing about Rocky is the quote, it doesn't matter how hard you take a hit, it matters how hard you can take a hit and get back up.
That's cool.
And I'm like, yes, that is carved into my soul.
I felt that.
Especially having a chronic illness that knocks me on my ass all the time. It hits hard. Lead fist.
Baseball bat.
Sly Stone did write, direct, and star in Rocky. The studio was like, no, we don't want you to act, but Sly wanted to, so they cut a lot of funding for the movie.
Nah, I want to.
They're like, no. They're like, no, you can't act. And he's like, I'm good anyway. Fuck you.
Bet.
That's like, so one of my favorite voice actor stories, right? There's a voice actor, Justin Cook. You know him as
Hiroshima, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
you know him as that. He actually doesn't have a lot of acting roles under his belt because he's a director, and that's just like what he prefers and, you know, his thing. Well, he's the director for Yu Yu Hakusho, and they were trying desperately to find a voice for Yusuke Urameshi, whom is the main character of Yu Yu Hakusho. And they could not find anybody they wanted. And so one of his coworkers was like, Justin, why don't you go give it a shot? And so Justin did the voice, and they were like, "No, it can't be anybody else. It's you now, Justin. Done. It's over." And so that's how Justin Cook became Yusuke Urameshi. And because he doesn't do a lot of acting roles because he's a director, that is just who he is forever to me. To the point, Kirishima is also Yusuke.
Yeah, because My Hero Academia was the first one I watched, so I went and I watched like 10 other animes, and I would just play the game like, who can I identify? Where it got to the point where like Madeline and I have been watching My Hero Academia, so we went back and we were watching it, and I was just staring at Shoji, like the arm guy. And I was like, I know your voice. Why do I know? I know. Who are you? So I looked it up and I was like, I was right. I forgot who it was, but I got it. And then I was watching, I forget. I was watching a show, and then like Deku, Present Mike, Bakugo, and All Might were in a scene together, and it was throwing me off. Like, because the personalities were all messed up, but I enjoyed like explaining what was going on in the show to Madeline using the My Hero character names for the other characters. I'm like, Deku just tried to murder someone. And she's like, what?
Yeah. So I'm really good at picking out the voice actors, especially like to the point where sometimes when people have voice actors audition for roles, they'll try to get a vocal match for a different voice actor. And I've started picking up whose the vocal matches are. And I'll be like, oh, that's so and so, and Chris will look it up and be like, no, it's not. And I'm like, oh, it's that other motherfucker, isn't it? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, it's the vocal match.
That's insane. Actually, that's really cool.
Well, like, I first became interested in the voice actors and not just the characters when I was like 11 or 12, because I decided I wanted to do that. So I started paying attention to who they were, especially when I noticed Greg Ayres and things. He was the first voice that I could pick out of a crowd. And like, he plays so many background characters that don't even have names and stuff, but I'll just be like, it's Greg. So
like, I'm your number one fan.
And then I started going to anime conventions, and I'd go to the panels and stuff. And when I started working anime conventions, I actually would start meeting some of them.
That's cool.
Which was pretty cool. Like Greg Ayres, my boss is actually really good friends with Greg. And so Greg had drinks with my boss in our hotel room. And I was just like, this is amazing. And I got to hear him talk about like his boyfriend and their dog and everything. And I was like, this is my dream come true right here. But
I love that.
So ever like since then, I really pay attention to the voices and stuff, even without meaning to.
Yeah.
But it gets trippy. It gets so trippy sometimes, because if I'm not looking at the TV and I recognize a voice, it throws me off when I look back up at the TV. I'm like, you're not. Oh, so you are. It's like when I was watching Sailor Moon with Tabby and I would hear Dio in my ear instead of Kunzite. And I'm like, what the fuck? Why do you sound like that, sir? But I love him as Kunzite.
The thing that threw me off about the Bakugo actor, I thought it was a different one first. Like, I thought I thought he was playing like the main character, because when the main character yells, he sounds a lot like Bakugo.
Wait, what show were you watching?
Black Clover.
Yeah.
And then but it wasn't the main character. It was, which I was fully convinced it was the main character until another character showed up, and like this character had like a weird like voice, like they were like nobility, so they're an ass, and they sounded like an asshole, but like a asshole, pretentious. But then they went like kind of evil and angry in a scene, and they yelled, and the first time they yelled "die," I was like, you are Bakugo, not this other guy. It's you. And so I looked it up and I was right. And now I'm just really thrown off, because then the two people that sound like Bakugo were yelling at each other, and I'm like, stop it, please. You can't. You sound too much alike.
So I was listening to Chrono Crusade, or I watched Chrono Crusade, which is an old anime from way back in the day. This is a Greg Ayres story. And like when Greg Ayres is Chrono, it's fine and like his voice is normal, and then he turns into Demon Chrono and suddenly he gets like this really smooth bassy voice, and I'm like, the fuck, is that still Greg? And I'm like, yeah, that's still Greg. I've never heard Greg, and I just like felt so out of my loop because I'm like, I've never heard Greg sound like that
Who
before.
are you and what did you do with Greg?
What, baby? Yes, you can have chocolate. Put the cat down. Roxy just picks up. She's standing on the chair. She's holding Artemis like this, and she's like, "Can I have chocolate?" And Artemis is just like, "Mother, mother, the child, I'm not a ragdoll."
I love
But like,
that.
she wasn't trying to get away from her or anything. She had just accepted her fate, and I was like, "What's going on?" But so yeah. Well, there's another voice in the thing, which I'm like, it was weird because it sounded nothing like Greg, but there was something familiar about it too. And that turned out to be Chris Ayres, which is Greg's brother. Well, we were watching this episode because we like to watch the DVD box set special, which they don't do this much anymore with the Blu-rays, which makes me really sad. But it used to be one of the incentives for buying the DVD box sets was you would have like director commentary or like cast commentary over episodes. So they would just play the episodes and the actors would talk all throughout the episode. Sometimes about the episode, sometimes about random ass things. And Chris Ayres was doing an episode with somebody and he's talking about Greg. He was like, yeah, when I heard Greg's demon voice, I was like, who is that? He's like, I've never heard him sound like that. And I was like,
the same reaction of
I
his
feel,
brother.
I feel so validated right now, random stranger.
Oh,
Thank you.
hilarious.
I too have never heard him sound like that. So that was just weirdly validating for me as a teenager. I was like, yes.
I just think it's funny they had like the exact same
I know,
reaction.
right? I don't remember if our reactions were actually identical or if I was just making them identical for the retelling, but I'm pretty sure they were like very, like the wording was almost identical. To have never heard him sound like that.
Next.
But yes.
All right, time for our second sprint, and this might be the second to last as well. Sam and I are both tired, and yeah, that's basically. I'm very tired.
Dying.
Yeah, so second to last sprint. Ready? Oh, that's the wrong tab. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Go. There we go. And we're back from the sprint. Sorry about the delayed ending. I have caught my foot in the wires.
I'll send you the message if you want to read it. Oh my gosh.
Blurry.
Did you say you were blurry?
Yeah, I was blurry for a second. Hi. Did you do the sprint?
Gave my children cheesecake. Had a mild emotional breakdown. It's fine.
Oh, delightful. There's another, yet another, because there are so many betrayals in the comic.
Oh, Tower of God? Yeah.
So
yeah.
many. Oh
so many. I don't look. It's been forever, so I don't remember things. But
it's like
I remember, when you say it's like when you say things pop into mind, and I'm like, yes, this is a fact. I cannot tell you who betrays anybody, but I know there was much of it. Also, Bang and the blue-haired boy, OTP.
You mean the white-haired boy?
Does he have white hair?
He has white hair and has like the blue hair tie, like hair.
Close enough.
Hair up.
Yeah, you knew who I meant. You knew.
Yeah, well, like
Bang is his wife, and nobody will take Bang away from him, or he will murder the entire world.
They're like besties in season 1, or it's like they have a weird relationship in season 1 because I don't know, Bang doesn't have a personality other than just being like naive and wanting to help people.
Okay, that's a personality, Stevie. Here's the thing.
He doesn't like have
Bang
as much
is the
influence
ultimate
over the plot.
Bang is the ultimate cinnamon roll who's just upset because he got dumped by the girl he was in love with. And then the white-haired boy, from what I remember,
I think the white-haired boy is iconic.
The white-haired boy is just like, this motherfucker, he's gonna die. He cannot. He's too pure for he's too pure for this world. But then he's like, you know what? That's my cinnamon roll. And I'm just like, yes. And then, like, I do remember that when the girl that Bang was in love with comes back in, he fucking not Bang, but what is the white-haired boy's name? Damn it. He fucking hates her. He's like, you piece of shit. You hurt Bang. You hurt my mans. He's the only reason you're breathing right now.
She hasn't come back yet.
Hurt him worse.
Damn. Don't spoil.
Oh, sorry. I don't remember things. I'm only 100 chapters ahead of you.
She just betrayed him. Like
again?
No, she just betrayed him for the first time. No, when she murders him?
No, technically she betrayed him before the plot begins, I think. I don't remember. I don't remember how he ended
one
up
flashback where I don't know. I don't know about a first betrayal.
I may be remembering the previous events before they entered the tower wrong.
But like he doesn't know she's a dick. I don't like her.
Oh, I can't speak to that. I don't remember. Look, apparently I don't remember anything but spoilers for you, so I can't say.
Well, okay, what I have is she wanted to go in the tower. This is total spoilers for anyone else. She wanted to go in the tower. He didn't want her to leave him because she's the only person he knows. And she's like, stay here. I'm going to the tower. And he's like, I want to come with you. Then they both end up in the tower. And then the guardian guy that looks like a bunny is like, to the girl, Rachel, no one wants you here.
Oh, yes,
you're not special. And she's like, what? But I want to be in the tower. And the bunny guy is like, sucks to be you. Go stand behind this wall. And then Bam shows up and the bunny guy's like, you're special. And she's like, he's special. But Bam didn't see that. And she's like, I now hate Bam because he took everything from me because he's special.
Wait, is his name Bam, not Bang? I've been calling him Bang this whole time. You did not correct me.
I'm pretty sure his name is Bang. I don't know though. I could be wrong. no one in the comments of this one says his name, so I think his name's Bam.
No, I think you're right. Yours sounds right. I'm dyslexic. It is entirely possible I picked a similar onomatopoeia that was incorrect.
Yes, but
Bam sounds more correct.
I didn't notice you were saying the wrong one, which makes it funnier. I'm like, yes! Bang!
You're just a reincarnated form of me. I just didn't die. No, look. Must I remind you of my moniker?
Okay, so Bam is like, I'll do anything to be with Rachel again. So he goes against the beast, but she was too cowardly to go up against the beast because having brain cells, not going, I'm gonna fight the beast, I'm definitely gonna die. Then she's like, it's not fair, this is all his fault. The reason I'm not the special one is because he's the special one. So I hate him
petty
now.
Bitch.
And
I hate Rachel.
He didn't know that. And then he does so much to help her.
White hair.
Yeah. I don't remember his name. It begins with a K. White hair.
Kale? Khaleesi?
Cone is what I thought.
Cone. Wait.
I'm pretty sure it's Kohne.
Kohn?
Cone. Yeah, I don't know.
We're going with I forgot that I had like Vampire Jesus up there. Hold on. She's glowing so hardcore.
Hi,
that
Steve.
You didn't. See, she's got a crown of thorns.
She does. Wait, I thought that turned off her powers.
Jesus. Oh god, now I can't see anything on my phone. I turned the brightness all the way off.
Yeah. Scroll down. I don't want to scroll down to the comments to figure out people's names because then
No, you're fine.
Away.
I'll do it.
Hi, Steve. I guess YouTube just doesn't like everyone. But yeah, so I don't like her. And because she tried to kill him also, which I'm like, okay, being a little jealous is fine. I mean, it's not fine, but okay. But then he goes like, I'll be with you forever. I'll do anything for us to be together. And then she just like
to figure out what's going on because
my
little alligator is being tortured and I don't remember
why. No, stop spoiling Sam.
I'm trying to find his name. Okay, it's Bam. We definitely want Bam.
And then there's the Wrath Raiser or something like that. That's the crocodile.
Yeah, Rock.
I
call him.
Yeah. Rock, the Wrath Raiser, I think. And currently Bam's going under a name that is not his. He's like Viola or something. I don't know.
No, I think you're right. I think it's Viola.
It's not Viola because that's not how Viola is spelled, but I'm doing a project on 12th Night, so it's Viola. And
I don't know. He's Bam again where I am, so
that's
they're
good.
Just calling him Bam.
And yeah, I like when the white hair guy takes like out his weird ass hair clip that's like a triangle and then ties his hair up in a ponytail. I'm like, yay!
Oh my god, why is nobody saying his name?
White hair dude?
Yes. Let me go to the first chapter, find his name there.
He's not.
Oh god, the art style.
The art style. I almost put it down. I almost put the comic down because of the art style. It was just like really.
That's not what bothers me. It's when you're like 100 to 200 chapters into a webtoon, and then you go back to chapter 1. You're just like, oh my god, what is this? Because it's changed. It's changed in one way or another. So it's just
also
like,
started in 2014. I'm like, that was like a million years ago.
Yes.
But yeah, no, I like was right about to put it down because like it was just bothering me because the art wasn't that pretty, and it's a comic. He
has bluish hair in the earlier comics. Girl, that's blue. No, sorry, I blinded everybody. That's blue.
That's light.
I am not. No, that's not how anime white hair is drawn. That's blue. I mean, they'll say it's white, but that's fucking blue.
The crocodile calls him Actually, he calls him like the scheming turtle or something like that.
I was say, he calls them all turtles. He doesn't say anything about their hair.
No, he calls bang, boom,
Bam.
bam.
Yeah, Bam's the black turtle.
Black-haired turtle. He says black-haired turtle.
Okay, that's fair. But the other one, I think it is the
He
scheming
just calls him the
turtle.
scheming turtle. Or like the slide, something with an S that means the same thing, turtle.
Well, we're gonna go with Khan because I can't find it, and
okay. Candy says hi to Steve. I don't know why you're yelling. We were yelling a second ago, so no judgment here. Oh, apparently I chatted with my friends who live right next door, and they can tell when I'm on live streams because I get so much louder, especially on Mondays. Like especially last Monday. They're like, why
Mondays
the fuck were you yelling about peanut butter? And I'm like, I have opinions.
Apparently that war is so well renowned now. Today I woke up and I checked a chat room and it was just like somebody had tagged me and said the peanut butter wars intrigue me, and I'm like, I don't.
Yeah, because you posted the thing about the world anvil and it had the peanut butter wars on it.
Oh.
People commented on like in CC on this when I posted the live link to this live. They're like, they said something about peanut butter, and I'm like, ah, yes.
You know what? Chris apparently DM'd Matt a picture of his peanut butter, which Chris buys the extra crunchy peanut butter. And I can't remember the whole conversation, but it essentially boiled down to Matt saying 0-10, do not recommend. And Chris just going on, and then me going, why are you torturing poor Matt? And he's all like, I'm not torturing him. He's just using the wrong peanut butter. And then telling me that one day he was going to record himself making a sandwich with smooth peanut butter and then sprinkling peanuts onto it.
No! Even I think... Actually, I think that's iconic.
My husband's a Scorpio. Nothing is too much for his petty acts.
Apple butter.
Yes. The toast with the butter of the apple.
But you know, I'm annoyed that the the omniscient reader one is really good, and I'm annoyed that I don't get to read more of it because like the plot is basically, or like the blurb, a guy was reading basically a web comic, or not comic book, and he's been reading it for 10 years, and he's been the only one reading it for those 10 years. Like after chapter 20, everyone else bailed out, and he's like, nah, I'm gonna keep reading. And it has like 3,000 chapters or something like that. And the day the epilogue was posted, he like messaged the author and was like, hey, thank you for all these, for the story.
Oh, that's super sweet.
And the author was like, oh, thanks for saying that, and in return, here's this. What's your email? I'm gonna send you a gift. And the guy's like, oh, neat. Because apparently the book's getting published. And he opens the epilogue. And
oh, my bad.
Apparently Chris is going to use extra country
peanut
butter.
I think
which
it would
is
be
a power move.
I think it would be a bigger power move to do it with smooth peanut butter, because then you're starting out with Matt's peanut butter and you're turning it into your peanut butter. If you just do it with your peanut butter, there's no real point. Like, what are you saying? I'm adding peanuts to my already crunchy peanut butter? Nah, do it with the smooth. But that's just me.
Anyways, the guy opens up the epilogue and it's like, thanks for reading. All done. And the guy's like, what? And then the plot of the novel starts happening in real life. And it's like, it's an apocalyptic novel. And like the characters are all of a sudden real, and like people on the train. And he like meets the protagonist. I thought he was going to be the protagonist, but then he didn't. And it's like really funny to see him interact with everyone because he knows so much about them, and he gets like skills as the reader. Like he has the fourth wall. So like when someone uses like a like panic spell on him, he'll be like, start panicking. Then the fourth wall skill will activate, and he'll be like, oh wait, never mind. Which I think is really cool. And yeah, it's just the art's really pretty, and the main character's a little shit, which I always enjoy characters that are little.
I have been pulled in by so many stories because the art was pretty and the main character was a little shit. That is my jam.
Mm-hmm.
Let's look at like my. So, to love your enemy is like a good one that I enjoy. I read a wide variety of shit. And To Love Your Enemy is a contemporary slice of life one-ish, where basically this woman, she had kind of a poor and slightly shady background because she was poor. She worked at a pyramid scheme place for a long time, but she didn't know that that's what they did. And the main guy, Yikyun, who will become her love interest, his mom got swindled by them. And he thinks she's the one who swindled her. Well, they go to college together, and she's like tried to reinvent herself, even going by a different name. Hold on, I just realized something's going on there. So, like, she's like, in order to force him to keep her secret, I forget the logic because this was at the beginning, she starts rumors about them dating. And just like everybody but him knows about these rumors. So everybody but him thinks that they're dating. Well, there's this kind of creepy dude who's in the same club as them. And he starts to hit on her and stuff. And when he does that, she like kind of leans toward the other guy, or she'll be like, oh no, we'll go buy something. While Yikyun still hates her because he perceives that she swindled his mother, he understands that this creepy dude is being creepy to her. So he's just kind of like, I'll go along with it, which I'm all like, this bro. He's like, yes, top tier, not friend right here. And like, he'll walk her home.
I don't like you, but I disapprove of what that man is doing, so I will help you.
I don't like you, but that doesn't mean that you deserve to put up with creeps. And I'm like, yes. Ow. Well, as with all things, at some point he finds out about the rumors, but since he's from his dad's side is rich, he's all like, well, Dad, I have a girlfriend, so I'm not marrying who you said I'm going to. Then he goes up to her and he's like, I need you to pretend to be my girlfriend. And she's like, what? And he's like, there's already rumors that we're dating and it's your fault, isn't it? And she's like, maybe. I might have done that. Did you know? She's like, okay, so we'll have a contract. And then it's great. I love stories like that where it was like a super fake relationship and then it was a fake relationship and then they catch feels. And I'm like, yes, good.
One thing about the omniscient reader thing is it's like all of during the plot of the novel, part of it is that the apocalypse happening on Earth is meant to be like a show for these things, for constellations, which I'm not, they're like beings with power. They watch, like, basically live streamed, and the like players or the characters can see like constellation comments or like what they're doing. One of the things, so fiery constellation fires of ivy vines is pleased, and I think it's really funny because like every time one of the characters makes a decision, like a thing will pop up saying what the constellations think about their decision, because the constellations can like sponsor you, like how in Hunger Games they get sponsors, and that can like help you get superpowers and coins and stuff like that, so you don't die.
You don't die. Yeah.
The alternative is
for a second my brain combined what you and I had said, so you're like, otherwise you did this, and I'm like, fake dating in a marriage contract. What?
Yeah, if you don't do that, you die. Honestly, there are lots of stories with plots like that, like, we have to date or I'll be murdered.
I'm like, let me tell you, I love them though. I don't care how many times I read the same plot. It's always
I
done
love-
differently. So
I think there are some, as long as it's not the guy saying like, "Hey, if you don't marry me, I'm gonna kill you." As long as that's not
that's
happening.
different. That's a little different.
It's like, hey, we're gonna get married because if not, these people are gonna kill you. I'm okay with that. Or we're gonna date or whatever.
So I was talking to Jenna and Cece about soulmate tropes and how we both actually really enjoy soulmate tropes, even though a lot of people hate them. And then I watched season 1 of Sailor Moon and I was like, oh, this is why. But anyway.
Me like sitting around like, I like this particular trope, and then watching like
Watching things
Avatar
from
and being like,
childhood.
that's why, or watching Xena and being like, that's why.
But we're talking about how in most, if not like every soulmate thing we've watched, it's always neither of the soulmates wants to be in a relationship or wants to be together. They're always like, oh, just because I'm your soulmate doesn't mean that I have to like marry you here, or does this mean that I don't get to choose? And I'm like, well, I'm not against this and I eat that shit up. I would like to for once read or watch something, and I plan to write something like this, where it's just like where it's like, one soulmate is like, you know what? I'm not dating anybody right now. In fact, my dating history's been pretty shit. And I mean, we worked out in the past. So, and like the other soulmate, because it can't be too easy, can totally be like, no, this is too weird. I just, It's like, but look, I'll do all the work. You just agree to let me. And the other one goes, fine, and just like enters a reluctant relationship. I would like to read something like that.
Yeah, I'd
and
be
then
interested
like
in that too.
all of the outside like issues and stuff can come from outside sources. Like maybe maybe they died in a previous life because of some supernatural war, and now their enemies are looking for them again. And so they not only. So, soulmate A is like, not only am I trying to re-seduce my old lover, but also we have to not die.
Not dying! Woo!
2 days after I had this conversation, I'm scrolling through webtoons, and I start reading this new to me webtoon, and in it, this like guy walks up to this girl, and he's like, "I finally found you," and I'm like, and he's like, "You don't remember me?" And she's like, I'll never fucking seen you." And it turns out they're soulmates reincarnated, but she doesn't remember, but he does, and now he wants to seduce her. And I'm like, who heard me speaking?
Asking you shall receive.
Who gave me this gift?
Okay,
so
someone asked this to me, or this in general. I have a long answer. No, not a long answer. So I used to, before I watched it, really dislike Legend of Korra because I have a thing against seeing characters growing up, or the future, because I don't like it. Because that means it wasn't a happy ending, because for there to be a sequel, that means the previous victory has to have failed somehow. And that makes me sad. So I didn't like Legend of Korra. And then I watched it, and I really enjoyed it. I didn't like all the stuff where it had like the old gang and everything in it, because it made me sad. But I do like Korra for who she is, also gay.
I have a controversial opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I hate Avatar, Legend of Korra.
Okay, I thought you were going to say The Last Airbender, and I was going to end
I was
going to end the live and be like, Sam, we can't be friends anymore. But you don't understand.
You know I like Avatar. I send you enough shit.
Yeah, I know.
Sokka's my dude. No,
that was the biggest part, their treatment of Sokka. I'm like, what the fuck?
So I hate Legend of Korra. I wanted to like it, but I like the premise. I like the idea. However, just the way it was handled and the way that they did it kind of lost all of what made the first series fun and good. I really don't like. I don't like how they treat Korra. like at all, like her character arc and the fact that like she's got to be captured and tortured and shit. Nobody did that to Aang.
He was
Nobody
captured
like
and tortured quite a few times.
Yeah, and it's like, but why? I don't like their treatment of Bolin's feelings in the first season.
I hate the love triangle because I hate love
I don't mind the
triangle.
love triangle. I don't like how they handled Bolin on it because other thing, I don't actually mind love triangles. I'm generally here for them. I don't like that when Bolin found out she liked his brother, they comedically had him running away crying. And like the music and everything. Yeah, it's like you're supposed to laugh. It's supposed to be funny. Ha ha ha, Bolin. And I'm like, bruh, that's my Sokka in this season. Don't you fucking do him wrong. And some people will say that her relationship with Asami came out of nowhere. I don't think it came out of nowhere.
No, it didn't come out of nowhere for me, at least.
I didn't
like the like pinball of Mako going back in between the two girls and then both like
Mako can
letting
suck
him
it
come back
unless that's his thing, then find a vinegar or something for him. I wanted to like him, but bruh, he's no.
He's so, they wanted him to be Zuko.
They did. They wanted him to be Zuko, but like without all of the internal turmoil. And I'm like, bruh,
the trauma.
You can't have Zuko without the trauma. That's Zuko.
That was his like he had character
That's his character development, overcoming his trauma. But yeah, so I didn't like how they did it, and I love the premise. I was really excited for it, and then it just felt very let down by it. And I'm just tired of seeing female leads have to suffer and be like extremely brutalized in order for them to be equal to their male equivalents. And Korra's treatment compared to Aang's treatment, it was night and day. And I'm not down with that.
A lot for me was the fact that in my mind I'd built up Korra as this like awful and terrible thing. Like I just really didn't want to see it. Like because I started watching it when I was in like 4th or 5th grade. So like when I was probably a little kid, I was like, I want to like I didn't know it existed, or like maybe that was when it was first coming out or something like that. And I watched like the first few episodes, and like it made me actively mad because of how they treated the gang and like them growing up and like the whole like Aang was a bad father, like basically anything. And I just got frustrated with it, and I was like, I don't like it. And I didn't like Korra, but I think that was because she wasn't Aang for me, and that made me like.
Oh, see, for me, I know that that's not it because I don't have. It's not as shady as I mean it, but I don't have those issues. Like I can separate things like that, and like I know it's a sequel, so I know it's not going to be the same thing, but it's still like there's certain things that should carry over into a sequel if you want to maintain the original audience. And I don't feel like they carried those things over. And like I said, the treatment of Korra in particular,
she was like constantly poisoned, tortured.
Yeah, blah, 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 and her powers were completely stripped of her at one point, if I remember.
Yeah, right. They kept like
because did that ever happen to Aang?
No,
I don't. Okay, yeah,
because they introduced her as like having already mastered 3 out of 4 of the elements, and then at the end of season 1, she mastered the 4th element. They kind of like her character arc wasn't about her like gaining, her control over her power. It was like her understanding how to be like a peacekeeper or blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Like and I saw this thing where it's like people are comparing and contrasting, like Aang learned how to be a warrior and Korra learned how to be a peacekeeper, and I'm like,
I mean, theoretically, that's what it should have been, but that's not what that's another one of those things where the fandom also just makes me extra salty because they're like, oh, the show was totally this thing. And I'm like, but was it? Was it? Or was that just in your head? Because I saw it too. So it's just one of those things where I'm like, I like the idea. I liked what they wanted to do with it, but I just feel like the execution was nowhere near what I would have appreciated. And yes, it's a kid's show. It ain't that deep, but also
as a kid, I didn't like it. like in 4th grade. Nowadays, it's different, but it made me, the original audience, it made me angry and sad.
Well, as a mom, I wouldn't want Roxy to watch The Legend of Korra because of the way Korra was treated. It's
I
like
would
I
watch
said,
She-Ra instead.
it's a long, ongoing issue with the treatment of female main characters versus male main characters, where female main characters have to suffer. They have to, be brutalized and all of this more than a male main character in order to earn the same level of shit. And I'm like, nah, that's why I love Vampire Jesus. She's just Vampire Jesus. Like, fuck that. And I'm like, yes. So
So the way they handled Toph's children, like that Toph was also a terrible mother, made me so angry.
Right?
I mean, like, that child became the police chief and was a terrible No!
I mean, to be fair, I can see her being a negligent mom, but
yeah, but
there's a little bit of a difference.
Yeah,
I do like that you never find out who the dads are.
Yes.
So just like Wild Toph, getting all the booty, having her babies, and going on with her life. But I do feel like she would have been a little bit more involved. But at the same time,
also,
that's
like, she had
kinda...
such terrible parents. I feel like she would have, tried to
I
be
don't know.
slightly better.
To me, that's just canon versus fanon. It's like, this is how they decided to make it. This is what we wanted it to be. We can't necessarily argue against it. So
I can still be annoyed at it, though.
I did like Aang's family. That is one point that they get.
And the fact that Aang was a terrible father, which bothered me. Why are all of the heroes terrible parents? Why couldn't they just be? Why couldn't they just be happy?
Save the world. Can't raise his kids.
I mean, like, yeah.
What is his oldest name? The stressed out one.
No, Tenzin was the youngest.
Is he? Either way, I love
Boomy was the oldest.
Poor man.
Tenzin, yeah.
He's so stressed out all the time.
So stressed out. It's really funny.
The poor man. Him I liked. Which, like, I'm not saying that there's nothing good about the show, just that I hate it. It's just like there's things that I can pick apart and things I love. There's things that I can say were done well and things I hate. So.
Yeah.
Y'all really gonna hold it against me? I don't remember the birth order in a show I hate. All I remember is he was stressed out and he had a beard.
Yeah, valid. Yeah, I just really don't like sequels that take. I just don't like sequels because it's not more content. Like the Star Wars sequels make me sad because not the original. Like what the cast succeeded in doing, the characters succeeded. They saved the universe. Turns out, no, it went to shit anyways. Which always annoys me. Like if it took place beforehand, like far beforehand, I would be fine with that. Or like a bunch of other
original sequels did. They were prequels.
I know. Yeah. But like with Avatar, if we got to know a different Avatar, or Avatar like 7 generations down the line, I would be chill with that. Just let Aang and his children and everyone be happy and healthy.
I don't mind. As long as the sequel maintains the spirit of the original, I don't care. I can tend to enjoy them. I mean, but also this is coming from someone who watches anime, which will have like every season is technically a sequel.
I don't like time skips.
But man looks so much better after his 5-year time skip.
Oh yeah, in this, yes, but like I'm okay with it there. But like other shows, they do a time skip, and I'm like, why? What? Who? Why? Why did you do that? What was the point?
There's an anime. I don't remember which anime it is, but like the original anime did really well. So they did like a spin-off sequel that's like the Next Generation or something, and it was doing kind of meh. So the creator of the original anime came in and was like, nah, we're gonna fix this, and started being involved. And I'm like, it's one of my favorite stories. And I wish I remembered. It might have been Naruto and Boruto, but I don't remember for sure. Where they were just like, nah. Also, although another thing, so Naruto's the original series, and then Boruto is about his son. And because Boruto hit with a new generation of anime fans, they started referring to Naruto as Boruto's dad. And all of the older weebs were all like, excuse you? Naruto didn't, and then started listing like things that he did for to be known as Boruto's dad. But it became so like meta meme that even old anime fans started calling him Boruto's dad in an attempt to be like ironic and stuff. So they'd be like, yeah, I'm here to get Boruto's dad volume 17. And I'm like, why? Why would you do this?
Imagine naming your kid your same name, but with a different
But one letter different. You mean you'd judge me if I named any of my children Tamantha? I think Tamantha's a great name.
Yeah.
What about Romantha?
I thought you were gonna say with Sam. I was like, you're gonna name your kid Jam? Really?
Jamantha, yes!
Jamantha!
That's gonna be a character name. It's gonna go in a short story or something. Jamantha, I'm doing it.
Actually, I'm not against it.
Jamantha was great.
Jamantha works.
That's what I'm gonna name the kid that, what's her face? Fucking Fox, what is her name? Lita. That Lita saves in the sequel.
Jamantha?
I'm naming them either Jamantha or Jamuel. For Samuel.
Someone's be like, why? And you're like, well, here's the link. Watch it and find out why.
Nah, if anybody's like, why? I'm gonna be like, because. I literally have a character named Sabrina Ragu because I didn't know what to name her. And I'm like, I need something French sounding. And I looked over and there was a can of spaghetti sauce there. And I was like, her name's Ragu.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I've done this.
Nobody has ever realized.
I've like sat there and then started looking around like cup, tracker.
I'm naming a character Womantha.
Womantha.
Fox is like, as your friend, I don't think I could let you name a kid Womantha.
All right. I think we are time for our final sprint, which I will put up the little banner this time, which I've been forgetting to do every time.
Can the banner say writing sprints with Jamantha?
Mm-hmm. Yes. All right, let's see.
Also, I just need you to know I attempted to change my name last sprint to Ancient Immortal Deity of Chaos and Order # Drama Queen, and I ran out of room.
Aw.
So there is a character limit.
Samantha. Did I spell that right? I don't care. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. That's what I wanted to do.
Baby Yoda syndrome. Yes.
How do I hit? Okay. 3, 2, 1. Go. Nope. Go. Why?
It kept look. I haven't worn it down in so long, and I realized it was down because it was annoying me. So this is what I did.
Can you see?
Yeah. I mean, out of this eye. Not out of this one.
Mm-hmm.
Are you gonna be okay? You want to see how far down it goes?
Yes. Holy fuck. Why is your hair so long? It's not fair.
Only like a third of it's that long. Like this, I'm not gonna try to find it. There's my sides were shaved, so they only like come down to here, which is still longer than yours, but.
Wow, thanks, Sam. Which is still longer than yours.
Let's be factual. There you go. Is that better?
So much better. I should take out Samantha banner. That was the last sprint. Did other than becoming the thing, did you do anything?
Yes, I read. Thank you very much.
Fixing the glasses. Oh, by the way, I concede the white hair boy is blue hair boy. He showed up again and 100% has blue hair.
It's blue.
I'm alarmed because I'm pretty sure it was white at one point.
I think it depends.
And his name is Khun.
Khun. Quan? We're calling him Con.
Yeah.
Because I don't know.
But yeah. So that's what I did. I read Angsty Bam is still angsty.
Yes. He's going through a time. So what did I read? Let's see. I read Eden's Gardens because I discovered that the webtoons have updated for the day. So I read Eden's Garden and then The Makeup Remover. I was in the middle of reading Lost in Translation. I replied to some DMs.
Cool.
You're just enjoying it, aren't you, CB?
I like how I actually did something, edited 332 words. Nice.
The hardest part about this is actually that it's a little
stuffy.
Trying to breathe.
Yep.
Because it keeps all my breath in here. It's very warm though.
Mine's not very impressive. 1 second.
Oh, well, to be fair, yeah, I was about to say, if you see me from the back.
It's too short. It won't reach the front. The back won't reach the front.
Yeah.
And then I have bangs, so it's missing most of its fluff.
Well, see, here's it from the back.
Yeah, my one would reach in the back.
Well, if you would like to here. Hold on.
I hate how smooth that hair flip was. Mine's very it's quite puffy now.
Bangs only. There. Do you feel better?
Bangs only.
I can actually see through my bangs, so.
Me too. Think you're special.
Well, I couldn't see through the rest of it.
They were straight earlier because my hair was greasy and dirty. And they go down to here now because I'm growing them out, and I could kind of see through them, except when I looked a certain way, they moved slightly and then went in my eyeballs and was blinded for a second. Other than that, I was fine.
I had taken a shower and just haven't brushed my hair since yesterday, so this is just wave. It's uncared for wave.
Total over 1,000 stream was distracted by the hair bragging. Yeah.
Well, look. When you got it, these are my bangs.
Ew, so impressive. Ew, bang. All right, do you want to do outros?
Sure.
Who
Alright,
are
so I
you?
assume I go first.
Yeah,
Okay.
hairy monster.
Hey, yo, and I was about to say welcome to my channel.
My channel!
Hey, yo, I'm writing Mom Samantha L. NASSET, also known as the Ancient Immortal Deity of Chaos and Order. On my channel, I talk about writer things, parent things, and writer-parent things. You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr, and Facebook at SamanthaLNasset.com. In order to stay up to date on all things Sam, you can sign up to my newsletter at my website, SamanthaLNasset.com. I think that's all the things I need to say here, since it's not my channel, so I don't have to say the other 80 things. Subscribe to CB, because she is awesome.
Please. Hello, I'm CB Ferrenz, young adult fantasy author. This is my channel. Talk about writing, and college student, teenager. I do little skits and writing live streams like this, where usually I am more productive, but today I decided to not be because I didn't want to be.
She was dying with me in solidarity.
Yes. Definitely. And yeah, please like the stream, subscribe if you enjoyed yourself. If you want to keep up to date, like Sam says, you can follow and I don't know how friend
Stalk.
Yeah,
You
follow
can stalk
basically.
her on social media.
Yeah, and stalk Sam too. Apparently, people are enjoying your style, Sam.
Oh, I thank you.
Oh. And with that,
my style is 100% goof all the time.
I appreciate it. It's fantastic. All right, that is all. Goodbye. I hope we entertained. If not, I'm sorry.